Hey guys, I wanted to bring you outside and just show you how I've been busy putting the garden to bed. Of course, there's been a lot of raking and leaf blowing, and in the backyard I choose to put it off to the side and or bag up the leaves and put them in my compost pile. So things are looking pretty neat and tidy, but as anyone knows that rakes, leaves will fall after you've done it and blow around all winter. So I'm pretty happy that I can even see the grass right now. But let me show you a few things that I've done to put the garden to bed. I've made sure that all my bird baths are put away that were ceramic or glass, and I have these wonderful metal pots. They're shallow. I just put some rocks in there, and that is what I have as a water source in my garden for the birds. I think I'm going to leave them year-round because they're really easy to clean. But this is the last one I put out. And of course I stocked up on bird food for my little bird friends. They land in this bush and then they come down and feast on the seeds, and it helps keep them padded with a nice layer of fat for the winter. I like to take care of my bird friends. So we've been in a dry spell for a couple weeks, and I found that I have to be watering some of my potted plants, which is fairly unusual for this time of year. We usually have wet weather as the cold weather moves in, but hopefully we're going to have more rain this week. But I have to say the parsley is doing really well with all these mild temperatures, and it's really gotten established in these pots. Seems like these pansies have appreciated the water I gave them. They're beautiful, purple and white. I really love that theme. And I'm always excited to see what color I get because I buy them on the sale rack while they have no flowers. That's why they're on the sale rack. So it's always a fun surprise to see what colors I end up with. Looks like my grocery store hack of planting baby bok choy has worked. They're doing well too. And I love how these pansies look under this topiary Alberta spruce. Looks like the leeks and the green onions are doing well. A couple more of my grocery store hacks that I planted. And then I also planted some celery bottoms and maque, and the maque seeds are coming up. So I've had this covered, but I think I'm going to uncover it because the celery should grow nice and tall. The Deciduous Azalea my friend Lori gave me is in the process of shedding some of its leaves. It usually only keeps a few at the tip and shows the beautiful branch structure in the winter time. And it's really pretty when the snow sits on those branches. The rest of my bed here, I still have artichokes that are sending up new leaves. I didn't think they were hardy in my zone, but then again, it has been rather mild. Although we've had a couple of nights that have been a light freeze, we haven't had any hard frosts, and I'll be interested to see if they weather the winter around here. And I've raked a lot of leaves over this bed to give it some nice insulation and also add some organic material. It's a nice carbon layer. The rustic garden bed is looking quite green. All of these are, I believe, radishes and some perennials. These are Sweet William plants, and they're still very green. I don't think they'll be green through any hard frosts, but everything is still looking quite green back here. My mums even have a lot of green foliage left, and it looks like I have a few tall turnips or daikon radish. I'm not sure which one those big leafy greens are. But guys, it's still looking quite green back here. Here's a peek at my back of the garden composting system. I fill it with leaves, and I left some in bags so that I could let those other leaves break down and then I'll add those in, but I didn't want them blowing back out onto the garden. But I have 3 of these bins, and I'm also putting kitchen scraps down on them. I think it'll help break those leaves down faster. It's usually like a 2-year process with just pure leaf mold, but I figure if I add in some kitchen scraps, it's going to go a lot faster. The polytunnels become somewhat of a storage area for the winter with all my tomato cages, our patio cushions, and lots of supplies for me to start my seeds in the spring. I've already bought a lot of materials, and I also got a gift of a soil blocker. So I'm excited to try that out. That's inside. So although these irises haven't bloomed for a long time, they do provide some structural interest, and I let them stay up as long as they're green, and once they brown out, I'll remove that material. But I think it's a really nice textural element in my garden, and I really like the yellow color that it turns in the fall. And guys, this is why I recommend planting ornamental grasses in the landscape. They are almost the star of the show in the winter. They're beautiful year-round, but look at the structure that you get in the winter time. Get a beautiful golden color and these wavy plumes. So I just love to have them along here in the driveway and different spots in the backyard. They look wonderful. And I won't be cutting those back until they either fall over or early spring. Here's another gorgeous stand of grasses that my neighbor planted. It's going to be beautiful. These have white plumes. The holly berries are out on cue, looking gorgeous for December. I think this quick fire hydrangea has a really beautiful structure. I'm glad I left the blooms on. I think that's really pretty for the fall and winter. This is a beautiful barberry that grew here by itself. I actually chopped it back because it got really big next to this door, and it is quite thorny, but it is turning a beautiful burgundy red with orange, an orange center. So it's really a showstopper in the late fall. So guys, that's it. I've just pretty much been very busy putting the garden to bed. A lot of bulb planting and a lot of raking and neatening up and a lot of compost prep. So thanks so much for tuning in for this quick little update, and I hope you're having fun in your late fall gardens.